DLA contract highlights rising risk in chemical supply chains. The U.S. government's approach to managing chemical and petroleum supply chains is becoming increasingly complex, reflecting broader pressures facing procurement leaders across regulated industries. Earlier this month, the Defense Logistics Agency, DLA, awarded ASRC Federal a contract valued at up to $2.3 billion to manage the chemicals and packaged petroleum, oils, and lubricants performance third generation ChemPol 3 program. The contract covers supply chain management for chemicals and lubricants used across more than 5,000 U.S. installations worldwide, as well as allied partners through foreign military sales. Chemical supply chains require complete coordination. Under the ChemPol 3 program, ASRC Federal is responsible for demand forecasting, technical procurement, inventory optimization, distribution hub management, and quality oversight for regulated chemical commodities. The scale is substantial, supporting roughly 17,000 delivery orders per month across global operations. This reflects a broader reality. Chemical supply chains require persistent coordination across forecasting, compliance, and logistics, not episodic sourcing decisions. Inventory shortfalls, quality failures, or regulatory missteps can directly affect operational readiness. The contract also underscores the growing reliance on integrated IT systems to provide real-time visibility into requisitions and inventory status, now a baseline expectation rather than a differentiator. Regulatory oversight is a core supply chain constraint. Chemical procurement carries an additional layer of exposure under the Toxic Substances Control Act, TSCA, which governs both existing and new chemicals in U.S. commerce. Under TSCA, the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, can restrict, condition, or prohibit chemicals it determines pose an unreasonable risk. For chemicals already in use, that risk determination can trigger labeling requirements, handling restrictions, or outright bans. For new chemicals, TSCA requires life cycle review before manufacturing or import can begin. For large-scale buyers like DLA and their contractors, this means chemical availability, substitution options, and compliance obligations can change midstream, introducing procurement risk that extends well beyond pricing or lead times. A signal for commercial procurement leaders. While ChemPol 3 is a defense contract, the underlying challenges are not unique to government supply chains. According to industry analysis from Deloitte and Ernst & Young, EY, chemical and petroleum supply chains face growing pressure from trade friction, regulatory divergence, and the need for tighter integration across value chains. For commercial procurement teams, the takeaway is not the size of the contract, but what it represents. Chemical supply chains are increasingly governed by regulatory durability, data visibility, and contingency planning, not just supplier relationships. Why this matters for procurement risk. As chemical regulations evolve and geopolitical risk persists, procurement leaders are being forced to manage supply chains where availability, compliance, and substitution risk are deeply intertwined. Contracts like ChemPol 3 illustrate how organizations are responding. By centralizing visibility, investing in forecasting, and treating regulatory exposure as a standing procurement risk rather than an exception. You've been listening to Sustainability Soundbites by Environment and Energy Leader. For partnership opportunities, please reach out to our team.